that we can just like chop up about this kind of situation. Atlantic finesses Youngboy, you know, for 300 million. I don't know what angle we could take, man. Like everything that is known has been said. You know what I'm saying? All is said and done with this kind of thing. Major labels, come on, man. We know these kind of entities, energies, right? MOS though, let's break it down. I don't know.
Infinite water deep dive, boy. Ralph smart to these dumb nugs, y'all flowing. Jack, give me the loot. Who got the key to the zoo? Mama, she lying. Daddy too weak for the truth. Man, got his nerve.
Alright, man. Alright, y'all. MOS, moral of the story. Moral of the story, right? With this Youngboy situation. Let me just read the title for y'all so y'all know what we talking about. How Atlantic Records finessed Youngboy out of 300 million. Now, right? Personally, I just feel like, you know, Youngboy getting finessed out of 300 million made him smarter. Let me explain, right? It made him smart in the sense of, yo, let's okay, first things first, let's consider human nature. You know what I'm saying? Let's consider human nature, the evolution of understanding, the evolution of wisdom, the evolution, you know what I'm saying? Evolution. I feel like that should be damn near the word of the day. Evolution. Niggas evolve and they create for themselves dope situations in that they end up understanding what the fuck they done got themselves into. You know what I'm saying? Realize and recognize when parents, you know what I'm saying, they have children at a very young age. They can realize, like I realized, well, I've went through a situation where I was working with this one girl. It was at a Burger King, you know what I'm saying? She realized that actually my kids are not a mistake. Well, no. My fault. She's still at the immature phase of her life, right? Where she literally, like without shame, would admit that her kids were a mistake. But I feel like it does get to a point where you, even as a parent, like, look, I just want to highlight this kind of situation to let you see the evolution of a human being's mind. You understand what I'm saying? So this girl, she openly, shamelessly admitted that, yo, my kids are a mistake, bro. Like, there's no other way that I can put it to you. Like, my kids are a mistake. But then, you know what I'm saying? I've also realized situations where after realizing that their kids were mistakes, they can literally wake up off of that and be like, yo, my kids were actually a blessing to me. You understand what I'm saying? So the evolution of humans should never be undermined, is my point. Because let's parallel this to the Youngboy situation. Youngboy signed, you know, a major record label with Atlantic at the age of 17. You know what I'm saying? Y'all go catch the stream where, you know, we literally broke that down. And it's the stream that dropped after this, well, before. My bad. It's the stream that dropped before this stream. You know what I'm saying? Go do your homework on there and see exactly what the fuck we're talking about. What the fuck exactly we're here breaking down. You know what I'm saying? He evolved. He was 17 when he signed the record label. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, off of the fact that, you know, he's a young, dumb, full of cum type mind. Who just, because, yo, he went on to create a whole lot of mouths to feed. I'm not gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? He created a whole lot of mouths to feed. He's a man. He's a, you know what I'm saying? He's got these animalistic natures about him. At the end of the day, he's a man. So he created a whole lot of responsibilities for himself, and obviously, naturally, I would add, those kind of situations, they do wake a person up in that they shift your paradigms. They see how exactly you need to move when we're talking about putting your responsibilities as top priority in your life, right? So he woke up. He was like, yo, okay, let me finish off my point, right? He was 17. He was young, dumb, full of cum. He couldn't read, whatever. Like, that's not far off. I wouldn't put it past him. But I don't know that for a fact. I don't know if he couldn't read, for a matter of a fact. But obviously he didn't give a fuck about what, terms and conditions that stood on a contract, especially on a record deal contract, bro. Like, to him, it was literally an opportunity for him to change his life, for him to change the lives of his children, his family structure, family members, all that kind of shit. Maybe best friends, whatever, right? Brothers, sisters, uncles, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So obviously the pressure of like, okay, how can I double down in terms of my understanding and my knowledge, my wisdom, into like just zooming in on how I can capitalize off of the situation that I'm in to make the most for myself. Now again, back to that human evolution. His evolution mindset, it dialed in. Facts. It ain't no other way around that kind of shit. Right? So Youngboy ended up growing up, obviously obviously you're only 17 years old for like 12 months straight, and then you grow up, and then the next age you reach it again, and it's a whole cycle. You continue growing, basically, is my point. So what I'm saying, Youngboy naturally, got into the gear of maturing, and he chopped up the deal that he was in. He was like, man, this is fucking bullshit. Hell no, this is bullshit. What I'm saying? Hey, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? How do we move? He started being smart. He started, doubling down, studying his own analytics, studying the people that fuck with him, studying how he can harness that and really capitalize off of that by himself. You feel what I'm saying? And so naturally, that's what happened. You understand what I mean? He realized the whole shit. Oh shit, I'm actually being taken for the boost. I'm actually taken for the pussy here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still assumed to be this young man who doesn't know anything, blah blah blah. And I feel like it hit him. It dawned on him the fact that, for as long as I am still that, the naive version of myself that doesn't even take any serious consideration, intellectual consideration of even my contracts and the shit that I'm signing away, you know what I'm saying, and the shit that I'm signing myself into, for as long as I am, ignorant of that kind of shit, hey, it's better days for my label, and it's the worst days for me. You know what I'm saying? So he got to that point naturally, I would say. And so therefore, why I say it made him smarter is, what I'm saying, in the whole him realizing that, what, I need to just, like, number one, get the work in. Like, I feel like he was sensitive to his own work ethic. You feel what I'm saying? I kept on raising the point of just him realizing his demons in the previous stream, right? I kept on raising the point that he realized his demons. He realized, where his impulses, for lack of a better term, where his impulses landed him and made him end up and shit like that, right? So he was like, okay, cool. Since that happened, I have to do more research. I have to grow up about my situation. And he got into a place where, okay, cool, I'm gonna do nothing but just put work in. I'm just gonna like listen to this chip on my shoulder. I am going to honor that shit, and I'm just gonna use that to be the battery on my back to just keep the work going. Because I feel like, mainly above everything, this is the moral of the story. Youngins, my young boys out there, my young bulls out there, listen to me, boys. Y'all know I love y'all boys, man. But let's be real. You know what I'm saying? These labels, number one, are betting on the fact that y'all are dumb, stupid, naive, ignorant, all that kind of shit, right? Hungry, starving, going crazy. You would do anything for a chick at that point. They're betting on that kind of shit, right? And then number two, they're, you know what I'm saying, for as long as you don't realize your power, like, it's always going to be better days for them. So now, you know what I'm saying? Like, why be moved away from that kind of thinking? Obviously, naturally, as I said, evolutionarily, it was gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? And so therefore, for as long, you know what I'm saying, my young bulls out there, this is still a message to y'all. For as long as y'all dumb, full of cum, mad, ignorant, naive, you know what I'm saying? The labels will keep winning. What do you have to do? Allow that shit to make you smarter. How? Spot your strengths, bro. The one, like, just like look in that mirror deeply. Look deeply in that mirror and be like, yo, what is the one thing that I have, like, that can outpace a label's methods of capitalizing off of me, right? I feel like Youngboy asked himself the very same question. And I feel like, you know what came up? Nigga, my energy. Nigga, my work ethic. Nigga, like, my person. You know what I'm saying? So what did he do naturally? He just kept fucking manufacturing the product, bro. Keep the product going. Fuck narratives. Fuck side commentary. Fuck, you know, people's POVs, nigga, blogs via POVs. You know what I'm saying? Podcasts, POVs, content creators, be like, fuck all that. Let me get the work going. Because number one, you're only into this industry because it's fun creating the work. It's fun. It's mad exhilarating. Now double down on that shit. Capitalize off of that shit. I feel like, yo, he was just like, yo, I don't give a fuck. Okay, the one mistake though, right? Off of that whole thing, he was still using the label's resource to go and create. So he was using the label's you know, method of getting him the studio sessions and things like booking shit like that. Now imagine if, and I did raise this up off of from the previous live stream, right? The fact that imagine if he had his own equipment, if he doubled down on understanding how to master the craft of recording, mixing. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you could outsource the mastering, but even that, by the time you master mixing, mastering is a fucking breeze. Facts. You understand what I'm saying? So now imagine if he was that. Like, he would have way less to fight off, right? Way less debt, way less this, that, and the, because, like, we understand it's the whole student debt system again, right? With these labels, they use the student debt system where, like, yo, they give you the advance at the initial points of your contract. They give you your advance so that you could have the motivation to just, like, get the work going for us and shit like that, right? You know, they have all these performance. They have to recoup their own money off of all these things, right? Your performance, the merch, the music, the radio spins, all type of shit, etc. You understand what I'm saying? And so he was like, okay, you know what? I'ma just get the work going. I'ma double down, triple down. I don't even give a fuck if I burn myself out at this point. I'ma just keep it going. And I feel like he had such energy, bro, for his work ethic that he literally outpaced his label. He did it. You know? Yo, boys, let me let you know this. Like, if you claim this music shit is the most fun thing, the most exhilarating thing that you've ever done in your life, and you really believe it's the right, you know, most right decision that you've ever made in your life, try and outpace motherfuckers with just the creation of it, right? Since that's what you fuck with. You say that's the most fun thing. I feel like, yo, double down on the one thing that you feel like is most drawing you to this music thing, and outpace the label in that aspect. Outpace them, because now they're gonna see the value in that aspect of you creating the music, and they, you know what I'm saying, they you might just, like, help them recuperate whatever, because this man ended up making, you know what I'm saying, doing like billions of streams and shit like that. Obviously that shit was valuable to the label, to a point where they wanted him to renew his shit, dog. They were like, okay, shit, oh shit, he's a, hey, yo, John, he's a force to be reckoned with. Let's, yo, come up with something where we can just renew his contract. Give him a label he you know, he wouldn't refuse. Give him a deal he wouldn't refuse. But now again, let's consider the evolution. You getting smarter, you getting wiser. hell yeah, you're gonna tell yourself, nah, bro, I don't give a fuck how attractive this contract is, bro. For the fact that I'm doing my homework, I'm doing my research on how I can control my own narrative, my own trajectory, my own journey. Y'all ain't gonna hold shit down, according to me. Y'all ain't holding shit down. That's a fact. You understand what I'm saying? Hey, and you know what? I feel like Youngboy realized that shit. You feel me? So with that being said, yeah, that like the same method, the same strategy could work for all of y'all. You feel what I'm saying? So W Youngboy for that shit. I feel like he deserves a young round of applause. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, follow the same method. It could save you. Like, outpace your label with the strongest aspect that you feel like you got an advantage over your label, you know, off of. You know what I'm saying? And like, just like, you feel me? And then obviously once you get to the other side of, yo, I feel like I've reached a comfortable spot. I've reached a comfortable level where I could really run by myself. You know, I mean, we all know he was facing a whole lot of charges. You know what I'm saying? Like criminal charges and shit like that. He was on house arrest for a whole lot, but like that didn't even seem like it fazed the young boy. Facts. You know what I'm saying? Nah, I ain't gonna lie. He was a gold mine. I know people talk about gold mines. He was a gold mined. M-I-N-D. You feel me? And now the next question naturally that will like just hit me is, how many artists have this kind of mind? You feel what I'm saying? I don't know what kind of results that Prince yielded in him outing his record label. You know what I'm saying? Going on and painting slave on the side of his cheek to expose his label and shit like that. I don't know what results that kind of yielded for him, because that kind of shit, like doing that kind of shit, exposing your label but having no backup plan, yeah, that kind of gives victim mentality. You know what I'm saying? It gives victim mentality kind of vibes. And yeah, that whole victim shit, it's not attractive to anybody. You feel me? So having a backup plan of like, yo, you know what, at least I got this work ethic that I can just like fuck and just burn the whole game up with. You know what I'm saying? Man, Youngboy was like giving awards on stage for like, I don't know, impacting his community positively and shit like that. So you know what I'm saying? Let me just circle everything back to the human aspect. The power of your humanity and your own power. You understand what I'm saying? I feel like he utilized it to the best of his ability. He realized his power. Again, human evolution. That was his evolution. That was his evolved arc. You know what I'm saying? And so therefore, if you can go ahead and overcome label degeneracies and label scams. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, you can overcome anything, man. You feel what I'm saying? And so, you know, a whole lot can be learned, you know, through Youngboy's situation. Learn the right way, man. Feel me? Yeah, that's it, man.